Hey everybody, hope you're doing well tonight. Wearing my workout t-shirt that I have. One of my old coaches had them made. And getting down to the end. I don't have too many more left as far as old ones. But received I guess a compliment today talking with somebody. And they said, man, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But I just really enjoy listening to your lives. And I said, okay, well, why? He's like, because they help me go to sleep wonderfully. He said, I put them on like every night, and I just go right to sleep listening to you talk. And he said, I got to watch it again in the morning to get the content. And I got a chuckle out of that. But tonight we're going to talk about parenting in a pandemic. And, of course, the Bible teaches that we're to raise our children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. And, as parents, we find ourselves in, unique situations. When have you ever had your kids in the house as much as they are right now? I mean, really, no, never. I mean, they're just never in this house as long as they have been. And there's really no precedent for how to parent your kids with all that's going on, and everybody's situation, of course, is different, and so these are just some basic principles to consider. And the first of them is when it comes to their schooling, make sure they're doing their school. Now, there is a commonality. Everybody's homeschooling right now, and I've talked about that before, but everybody's a homeschooler. And so one of there's pros and cons to each type of schooling. The challenge with homeschool is to make sure the kids are doing their work. And sometimes if they're on videos or whatever, they may not do that. Now, a lot of schools have the online classes now, and so you got to make sure your kids are doing that. It is challenging when parents are working, particularly if they're not home during the day, if they have essential jobs and are out working, and there's not anybody there to watch the kids. That can be really challenging to make sure they're doing their school. Other times, you're home and you're able to be more involved, which is good. But make sure that they're doing their school. Make sure that you're going over their work with them. Make sure they're getting understanding. Bottom line is that it is parents' responsibility to educate their children. It's not the government's, it's not the churches, it's not anybody's, but the parents' responsibility. And anything that's offered is to help them in their responsibilities to educate their kids. So you want to make sure they're doing their work, and we're not helping our kids by skipping out on classes or skipping out on doing work or anything like that. And so we need to make sure they're getting the education they need. Earlier this month, I was really just excited with my wife did something so awesome. It was the beginning of the month, April Fool's, and so she was sitting there. She had her phone in her hand, and the kids were doing their school work, and she just starts, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And just got all worked up. I didn't even know what she was talking about. And then she says to the kids as they're doing their schoolwork, the governor of Massachusetts just canceled, he just ended school for the year and said that everybody's going to have to repeat their grade. And she was dead serious, like sold it perfectly. And it was awesome because Titus and Violet started crying, and Sammy and Susie just got mad and angry, and it was awesome. And then she was like, "April Fools!" Oh, it was perfect. I was so proud of her. And anyhow, we were making sure our kids do our school. You got to make sure that that your kids are doing their school as well. You want to, secondly, just as we're parenting, monitor your kids' online involvement. Where kids are not able to go anywhere and they're needing electronic devices for Zoom classes or online classes or whatever it is that they're doing, video classes. You need to monitor their involvement, and it's tough. Weather has not been great this year. They can't go play with their friends, so you can't go outside that much. They've had a few days, but not many. You can't go play with your friends, at least you're not supposed to, and they're stuck inside, and so they're spending more time on electronic devices than they normally You got to check that stuff, all right? You got to be looking into what's going on. We had a situation with Susie playing a game, and a lot of the online games have chat associated with them. And, sometimes friends are playing games together, which is fine. But you want to make sure your kids aren't talking with anybody that they don't know or that you don't know. And we had a situation with Susie talking with somebody that we didn't know and she didn't know. And, online predators, this is just a field day for them. And so fortunately, we have instilled in our kids to rat one another out. I mean, we just encourage it, like, hey, if so-and-so is doing something wrong, let us know. And they have lived up to that. Actually, they probably have exceeded our expectations because they tell on everything. In fact, sometimes I think they make up things about somebody else just to get them in trouble. But anyhow, one of the kids said, hey, Susie's got talking on this chat with somebody. And so we got a good conversation with her and got rid of that app and said, look, don't use the apps like that. Don't talk with people you don't know. There's a world out there that is wicked and ungodly and will do all sorts of, try to do all sorts of things online. So you got to monitor what your kids are watching online and just be aware of that, because it is definitely a concern. How about this? Promote some quality entertainment. Try to watch shows that are good, that are profitable. Make sure your kids aren't watching things on the internet they shouldn't be. Hey, I'll throw this out at you. It's a pretty good series. It's called The Chosen. I've really enjoyed watching it with my family. It is not a mini series. It's a series about the life of Christ, and I think it's done very tastefully and it's very entertaining. And all my kids have really enjoyed it. Jen has enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, and you can get that on YouTube. It's free, and they are taking offerings to promote the second season, and hopefully they get that. But that's just one example of something that you could sit down and watch with your family while you're stuck. I know people that maybe are in warmer climates can get out, but right now it's still pretty miserable around here. It's rained all day. 2 days ago was nice. Saturday was nice, but that was about the first nice day that I remember. And but you want to have get your kids doing some coloring projects, word searches. I just bought Samantha some bead things. I don't even know what they are, but I got Titus some Lego stuff. So let the kids kind of figure out what some projects they like to do and get them doing those constructive things. Me and Titus were doing a puzzle today, and spent several hours just working on that puzzle, just trying to spend time with the kids doing positive things that are good for the family. And whatever you do, that's fine too. I mean, I'm just trying to give you some ideas. Do projects together. We on Saturday, when it was nice, did put a basketball hoop together, and now we got the basketball hoop set up for the kids, and I let them help with me. They've done some yard work, and although you got to be careful about that yard work. Violet and Titus were supposed to be out doing some yard work and or cleaning up the backyard or something, and they made a foot pool is what they called it. And basically what they did is they dug a huge hole in the back of the yard and got the hose and filled it up with water, and then took their shoes and socks off and put their feet in the foot pool. And I was just like, what? What? But you know what? What else are they gonna do? I was like, don't ever do it again, but have fun right now. And you're all taking showers when you get in because you're gonna be covered in mud. But they had a nice time, just doing some constructive stuff together. It is nice that we have 5 kids that can interact with each other. I know it's more challenging if you have an only child or kids are more spread out. But, get creative with the things that you do, and, get them outside. As the weather's getting nicer, get them outside, get fresh air. Don't let them sit in front of the TV all day. Have them play outside. Take the dog for a walk and let them play in the dirt a little bit, and just, have a good time and be kids, and make it as enjoyable as you can. Understand this, as you're parenting, when you got a bunch of people or, stuck around each other, conflicts are going to happen, all right? Kids fight normally anyways, but there's going to be conflicts that happen, and particularly when they're stuck around each other. Be gracious, do the best that you can with that situation. Nobody's kids are perfect. My kids aren't perfect. Your kids aren't perfect. And if you think your kids are perfect, they're probably the worst ones. All right. So just be patient, be adaptable. All right. Figure out what's working for your family, and just be willing to adapt. Also, keep your kids immersed in the Word of God. Get them watching the services online. Make sure they're reading their Bible and having spiritual things and involved in their life. That's very important. And teach the kids to sit down for an hour and watch the services online. You say, "Oh, well, Johnny can't sit still." Well, work with them. I mean, working with Isaiah. He's 4. It's a challenge sometimes to get him to sit still, but we're working with them, and that's what you need to do with kids, is give them some structure, give them some guidance, and just have a fun time with them. Listen, this is going to end sooner or later, and in the fall they're going to go back to school, and things might return to some sense of normalcy. But while you have this time with them, while the sports aren't distracting, get to know the kids, know them well, spend time with them, and just remember, if you ever feel like you're not doing a good job, look, you're not doing. It's not an easy job, okay? So don't beat yourself up. You've got a difficult job to do. Parenting's hard to begin with, and particularly stay-at-home moms, and it's a challenging job, and everybody else is figuring that out right now. But just keep doing what you're doing. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be encouraging. Try to be as encouraging as you can be, and just keep doing the best you can. And in the end, that's what matters, is that you do the best that you can with your kids. And if you'll look back and say, "Oh, I should have done this or that differently." Yeah, well, we all do that. All right, so do the best you can, and just let the Lord guide you, and He will lead you through this. Look, there's no set standard. All I'm giving you out of the Bible is we're to raise our kids in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Outside of that, there's a few good ideas that I've mentioned, but outside of that principle, it's up to you and your family how you operate. But make sure you're giving them good godly principles to live by, and make sure they know things are going to be okay, and just encourage them. And listen, I hope these are just some practical thoughts tonight. I haven't been on too long, but if I could be a help to anybody, I'm here for you. Lord bless you. Have a great night. Bye now.